Hey guys, welcome back to the Cult Classic Kids Show. And today we have to talk about Elder Scrolls Oblivion because this has been my obsession since April 22nd. This game happened to have stealth dropped, and since then it has recaptured and reinvigorated my passion in gaming. Mind you guys, Elder Scrolls Oblivion has always been one of my all-time favorite video games. It was my obsession throughout the majority of the 360 life cycle. And this remaster has come around to remind me exactly why, because it's been a while since I visited the game, and the last time I did, some things about Elder Scrolls Oblivion obviously felt dated to me, and I have to say this remaster does so much right, so much so well that I can't help but praise the changes and praise the things that they kept the same, especially as a longtime fan. But to get into it, guys, because we're not Dreamcast guy here, right? We don't play games for a fucking hour and then say, call it a so-called review, right? But here, my Steam profile, I have at this point over 40 hours in the game. And with that, I've spent it doing a variety of things, from a variety of side quests, some important and very well done side quests, some infamous side quests, or well regarded side quests, to some of the main quests. I'm in the middle of the main quest still, but I've also completed the entire Knights of the Nine DLC, so I've done a lot of stuff. I'm really far into the Fighters Guild quest line, so I've done a whole lot of things. I played this game like a gamer would, not like a reviewer or a YouTuber would. No, I've been playing this game like a gamer would play it. And so you're gonna get my genuine take on Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered as a gamer, as a fan of the original, because it's actually really good. And like I said, I haven't beaten the game, so this is technically obviously an impressions after over 40 hours in the game. But to talk about the visuals, the art style, all that stuff. So discussing the world, Cyrodiil in Oblivion, I really love the lush forest, the redesigns of every area. At first, I was a little concerned with the lack of color by comparing it to the original version, but um, the art style takes a more realistic approach while still retaining what is Elder Scrolls Oblivion. And I think that despite the color variation being at a more realistic look, it still overall retains the color of the original game. It's just a little more realistic. So there's not as much a variety of color, but there's definitely a lot more beautiful, lush like visuals and variety of visuals. Because if you go into like a tomb or something, it's really dark. It's really you got your browns and stuff there. There's definitely variety in this world. And it's actually one of my big criticisms of Skyrim and why I don't like Skyrim as much personally. Um Skyrim is a lot of gray, brown, and yellow. That's the overall tone, a visual tone of Skyrim. And still in comparison to Skyrim, Oblivion still has a fuck ton more color. Now I know some gamers that have already modded the game to look more lush and colorful than how the remaster looks, and I think that that's completely fine and acceptable. I personally haven't. I played the game completely vanilla, devoid of any mods whatsoever. And, for me, at first, it was a little bit weird, but then when you're playing it and really settle into this remaster specifically, it just works for me. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying it with a filter, but I don't feel like I need it. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. It still feels very much like Oblivion to me, especially in comparison to Skyrim. I haven't really had enough time with Morrowind to speak to it. I'm like I said, guys, I'm an Oblivion fan. I can't really say I'm an Elder Scrolls fan. I never really messed with Elder Scrolls Online. I've never messed with Morrowind or previous Elder Scrolls before that, and I tried Skyrim, and I just don't like it. So me, I'm just an Oblivion fan through and through. And this feels like this world, it just has a little bit of a more realistic approach, but I still get that variety of different areas. And it really, oh man, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. The characters, some of them look kind of weird, a little bit, obviously different. They have some redesigns. I'm playing as a Khajiit personally, so the Khajiits definitely look a lot different. I think that the female Khajiits kind of look really, really off, whereas the male Khajiits, I think they kind of look like what I think a more realistic looking Khajiit would look like. Um, the Argonians definitely look different. I don't mind the way that they look personally, but I also never been a like super big into Argonians by any means. So they look more dragon-esque. Some people don't like that, and I get it because it's obviously it's a change. It's less lizardy looking. So I get that for sure. As for, the Nords, the Imperials, the Red Guards, I like the way the Red Guards look actually. I think they look pretty cool. Everything is different. There's definitely better range in age, uh, at least in the look of people's ages in the game. Like the original game didn't really show age too well, in terms of on characters. So the game definitely does allow you to have a more wrinkly looking character and there's definitely more variety in that. Um, the characters, how they look, I mean, characters in Oblivion to me never really looked very good. I managed to make a character that I felt was competent. I would always make male characters, and I still will make male characters because I'm not going to walk around in a dress. That's never gonna happen. Okay, self-proclaimed queen of the tomboys. I'm not wearing a dress in Elder Scrolls Oblivion ever, so I'll always play as guys. But I think overall some of the character designs, some good, some eh, but in my opinion, Oblivion characters always look kind of trashy anyways, besides the Khajiits, so that's just me. But yeah, that's how I feel about that. The only character that I think looks absolutely god awful, which is a shame, is Martin Septim. He looks god fucking awful. I don't know what they did. I think they tried to make him look more like Sean Bean, but they made his face look really bloated. So in this really weird way, he kind of looks like JD Vance with long hair and with a dying hairline. So I just thought that was really weird. Like Martin in the original game, he just looked a lot like his father, but younger. And I really think that they should have did that because Uriel Septim looks a lot fucking, he doesn't look anything like they don't look anything like each other. Let's just leave it at that, right? So, that was the one true disappointment in terms of how characters look for me personally. It sucks because he's an important character in the game. So, that's kind of unfortunate. Performance. So, I'm running my game on, an 11700K, a 3080, 32 gigs RAM, and I'm playing on a 1440p ultra wide, so it's like 3440 by 1440p monitor. And overall performance, so I have to distinguish. So when I'm playing, when I'm streaming this game, the streaming itself is kind of taking my processor to the limit. So when I'm streaming the game, the performance definitely isn't the best. I'm looking at between like 30, 40 FPS. But when I'm just playing on my own, and I'm just, whatever. I got it running at between medium and high settings, and it's running between 50, 60 frames. So performance isn't that bad considering my processor is definitely pretty aged and it's showing its age more and more. This is running on Unreal Engine 5, so these Unreal Engine 5 games are definitely pressing. They're taxing. They're taxing the consoles. They're taxing the PCs. It's definitely it definitely requires some horsepower. I cannot use DLSS because it's not really having a benefit for me personally because my processor is already pretty taxed. Um, by running the game. So with turning on DLSS offloads more of that to the processor. So that's not something I would do. Now, if you have a PC that's more like GPU bottlenecked, then yeah, the DLSS would probably work for sure. But for me, that's not really the case. So I'm just playing it straight up 1440p, no DLSS, none of that. And overall, when I'm not streaming, the performance is pretty decent. It's negligible. But, when I'm streaming it, it's definitely taking a hit because I'm using, streaming software with my processor, so that's just me personally. So, it's definitely good to take into account your situation. Obviously, for me, RAM isn't at all an issue, so that's it. But overall, the performance is pretty decent for an Unreal Engine 5 game. But if I'm streaming it, you're not gonna really see what I see when I'm not streaming it personally, so, yeah, I've been streaming it on my second channel, so that's been fun time. But, now gameplay, play control, core mechanics. The gameplay, dude, the improvements have been this is where the game really shines. because admittedly, Oblivion is dated in some ways that make it kind of tough to play, right? They added some things that I think are amazing quality of life changes, like just being able to run. I think one of the most valid criticisms of Oblivion is that you do a dungeon, there's no guarantee that there is an instant way out of the dungeon. Some of them have that, but some of them don't. Sometimes you would have to like slow jog to the entrance, right? And that used to suck. Like honestly, it used to suck. Now you could just run back to the entrance. Everything about the game is the fucking same besides the way it looks and some added stuff to it. But like the quality of life changes, like the world is the same, the characters, the storylines, all that shit is the same, right? But the quality of life, like being able to run around is a huge difference. It is so fucking huge. The way the animations even look so much better, especially for like horses and stuff. The one interesting thing about horse riding is that you can't do it in first person. I think there might be a patch for that or something in the future. But for some reason, you used to be able to do horse riding in first person or third person. I would prefer it in third person. I'm the type of person I switch between first and third person a lot in Oblivion, situationally. So that was interesting, but, animations for fighting are different and better. Um, the play control feels really nice on keyboard and mouse or on controller. I actually prefer playing on controller because I played this game on Xbox 360 back in the day, and I'm just controller just feels perfect for me, but, when I first started streaming it and I was streaming on PC, I was playing on mouse and keyboard, and that was pretty much intuitive as well. One thing that really stood out that makes so much difference, and you wouldn't think so, on the original Oblivion, your character was never actually grounded. And it's such a corny thing to say. It was like your character's always hovering over the ground. They're not actually on the ground when they're walking, when they're jogging. So it, it could break immersion. In this game, they actually fix that. You actually feel like you're on the ground. Now, when you're running, sometimes you could be running at an angle that doesn't really work too well. But for the most part, if you're jogging around, you're running around and it's flat land, you actually look grounded, and that's makes such a big difference in terms of immersion in the game. I think that there's so much good stuff here. Everything feels fresh. They reworked how, stamina and stuff like that works. And while they did change some things to the HUD, it's not really much different for the most part. They reworked how leveling up works. And you know what? Honestly, I think it feels better. Like, I can't really say exactly. I'm just going off of like not looking anything up because I don't like to look up things for games. I don't know exactly the changes, but leveling up just feels right. It feels right. I feel like I'm properly earning my level ups in a reasonable period of time, but I'm also doing a lot of stuff too. So like I'm putting in the work, but I also when I'm leveling up, my ability points and whatnot, um, I actually feel the difference in the character as time goes on. So working out all those controls, good stuff overall. The core mechanics, some of them have been reworked and it feels really good. But overall, the story is the exact same. What goes on is the exact same. The side quest lines, the DLC, it's all the same game. It's just reworking some of those core mechanics and fixing those animations and making the redesigns of essentially all the items and components in the game. All that stuff is really good, really well done. I think they have a lot of nice touches and quality of life changes, but make no mistake about it. This is the same fucking game that we had in '06. It feels exactly the same. It's just that there's quality of life changes here that we get a that has reinvigorated me honestly with this game, to really just dive in and just not feel intruded upon with the fact that it's an aged game. I don't know, I no longer have that feeling with this remaster. I think that's such a great testament to the remaster itself. Now, audio design and music, the music is phenomenal as always, and it's all the same music. And some of this music is now used to meme, but it's a genuinely profound and addictive soundtrack. My brother, he doesn't even play video games like that anymore, but he'll still have Oblivion's music going on in the background as he's like studying and stuff. Such an iconic soundtrack. The music is so beautiful, and it's exactly the same. And the overall audio design is really good. You know, Oblivion's notorious for having like those six, basically six voice actors. And what's interesting is they added a few more. So it does feel like there's a little more variety of voice acting going on there. It's kinda jarring to me because 'cause I'm expecting one of, like, the 6 people to be speaking, and I'm hearing a different voice, like, "Oh, shit." But, I think that they kept the voices that needed to be the same, and the voices that really didn't matter so much, they did add variety to. So, the way they went about that, it really works for me as a longtime fan. I don't feel like it isn't really very jarring. It just feels right. It just feels right. It feels like there's more variety, and the voice actors that have prominent lines, important lines, it's all the same audio. It feels good. It sounds good even to this day. The sound quality behind Oblivion was pretty damn good considering. There was one part, like a sound glitch in the Knights of the Nine DLC. I was talking to a character that had a essentially they're a character that he had a curse on them, and I was talking to him. For some reason, his audio was very, very low, and you could tell that this is some form of mistake. If it be a glitch or something, you could barely hear them. Their voice specifically felt muffled, but that was like kind of like a rarity, I guess you could say. I guess we could talk about glitches. Let's throw glitches in there. The only glitches that I've come across that are something new was, a character's lower body was missing. It's actually happened for 2 different characters. Mind you, I've played it for 40 hours, I've talked to plenty of characters, I've seen plenty of characters. Only 2 of them had this instance of for some reason, their lower half of their body was just disappeared, and they were essentially hovering around. It wasn't really a big deal, it wasn't important. Um, you might encounter if you haven't played Oblivion before, you might encounter some glitches or issues that are just they're prominent in the game itself. It hasn't been changed. This is still the core game. But overall, in terms of general, play, the game's glitches is minor, it's no issues that I see, and the things that are kept the same are intentionally kept the same, so you gotta take it or leave it in that instance. Now, the cost value, this game is on Game Pass, which is really cool, Game Pass day 1, so if you guys are Game Pass gamers, um, that's a great deal. But also the base game itself is $50. If you want some of the different armor set that there is, you pay like $10 more. I think it's like 2 armor sets, something like that. I couldn't tell you for sure. That wasn't really a concern to me personally, but at the $50 price tag, you get the Oblivion base game, you get the Knights of the Nine DLC, and you get the Shivering Isles DLC. The Shivering Isles DLC alone is like a whole other game. In terms of look, I can't tell you what's worth it to you or not, but I've played the original game, I played all the original DLC, I've been involved in that world. It is a Oblivion's a fuck ton of content, and at that $50 price range for a very quality remaster that this is, overall, this is a great value overall. And I guess we could discuss just who is this for? If you're a longtime fan of Oblivion, this is worthy of jumping into, in my personal opinion. I felt exactly where I was back fucking 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Like it not much has changed, even though a lot has changed. It's weird. They did a good job of picking and choosing what to fit, what to change around, what to fix, what to leave alone. And I think that their choices, while they weren't all perfect, I think that they made really solid choices. Thankfully, this remaster was done by Virtuos, I believe they're named, and they're responsible for a lot of great work out here. If this was Bethesda behind this remaster, it would be a very standard garbage ass remaster. So thankfully, they handed this out to somebody that would actually put in the work. It's crazy that this remaster is making Skyrim fans jealous, all right? And, I've been holding that over on Skyrim fans. They're like, "Oh, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad, and I would buy Skyrim again if it got a remaster like Oblivion did." No, motherfucker. You guys can keep your 50,000th remaster, right? Enjoy that shit. While us, we were suffering. Us Oblivion fans, we were suffering for a long time, getting watching Skyrim fanboys get all the attention, and Oblivion just gets swept aside. But now, guess what? We have the best, the most quality Elder Scrolls game remaster. All right, I'm gonna say it outright. It's amazing. It's the best remaster of an Elder Scrolls game that exists currently. It is phenomenal. So if you are a longtime fan and you miss this world, this would be a great point to jump into. Now, I will also say there's Sky Oblivion as well, and guess what? I'll be playing Sky Oblivion too, baby. But I wouldn't blame you if you're waiting for that. That's also definitely a an interesting point of interest to any longtime fan of Oblivion. I wouldn't blame you. But I'd say that this is also really great. The perfect time for this game. It feels so up to date while being exactly like it was in the past. I love it, man. I love it. If you're one of those people that's like, I always wanted to try Oblivion, maybe you tried Skyrim first. Skyrim is um a lot of Elder Scrolls fans' first game, first Elder Scrolls, right? And maybe you tried Skyrim and you were like, "Well, I really love Skyrim. I want to try Oblivion." And then you look at Oblivion, "Ah, this feels a little too dated for me." There's a lot of things that needed quality of life and whatnot. This is your chance to jump in now and experience the true essence of Oblivion despite it being a remaster. If you were always curious, but it felt like, it's a little bit dated for me, there's some things that, I don't want to deal with because it's an older title. This is your time. This is your time to jump in. Now, if you've always not given a fuck about Oblivion, or if you've always hated Oblivion, why I'll never know, but you have those out there too. If you just never fucked with Oblivion for whatever reason, do not play this game because it's the same fucking game. It just has a fresh coat of paint on it, right? If you don't like Western RPGs, this isn't for you. This is a true Western RPG. So if you were never interested in this, you never fucked with it, you thought it was trash always, this is not going to change your mind. This is a beautiful fresh coat of paint, a nice facelift, but in essence, it truly is Oblivion. And so if you're into that, yo, this is a great remaster, man. This is a game I will easily be playing for the rest of the year on and off. Um, I'm gonna be playing this for the next couple of weeks, easily dumping loads of time into this. All right. Um, I actually put off Expedition 33 because I just want to play this game so fucking bad and have this experience, this wholehearted experience. I'm gonna continue to play this game like a gamer. All right. I'm not gonna rush to beat the game so that I can do like a final review or something. No, I'm gonna play this game like I would, like I did back in the 360 era. This is this is something I have to commend Virtuos for doing. It is phenomenal. I love it. It's everything I could have hoped for, man. I'm glad I can sit here and say that Oblivion got a phenomenal remaster at a great price point that and truly of quality. And to be here and be able to say that, it's almost shocking considering how ignored Elder Scrolls 4 has been for so long. It's always been Skyrim, 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 Skyrim. It almost feels too good to be true I'm a specifically Elder Scrolls 4 fan. It really does feel too good to be true, and I'm glad that Bethesda, while they oversaw it, they weren't directly involved in it because this game has really put into perspective what Starfield is for me, and Starfield is not a good game. It's sad to say that, but it's not a good game. Playing Oblivion and just seeing the quality writing, the quality, just exploration, the quality questing. That's the true meat and potatoes of Oblivion. The questing, the writing. It really puts into perspective how truly garbage to me games like Avowed and Starfield are. And you know what? I still like Starfield, at least a base game Starfield, but it ain't fucking with Oblivion, man. Avowed, that game is trash. Avowed you can talk to a basic NPC and you can ask them one thing and they'll go on for a million years. Oblivion, they find the right way to say things and they say it quickly. It's not wasting your fucking time when you're talking to NPCs. You actually want to go out of your way to talk to NPCs because they're not going to waste your time. You're going to find out the information you need or find out something even more interesting, and it's not going to take 10 years for them to explain it to you. It's just things like that. Bethesda used to do such great work. I hope that this will revitalize and show them the way once again. But I don't know, man. I don't know if we're going to get an Elder Scrolls 6 that's the quality of writing like Starfield. We're fucking doomed, bro. But you guys, let me know what you think about this impressions after 40 plus hours in Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Are you playing it? Are you considering buying it? Has this impressions swayed you in any way? Let me know how you feel about this in the comment section down below. If you can, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Follow me over on Twitter at Mario Kart if you'd like to continue the conversation. Consider becoming a channel member. It gets you instant access to the Discord, gets you dope ass emotes for the Thursday night live streams. And go follow my second channel. It's called Goonerfist Cage. There's a link in the description below. All sorts of fuckery over there. I was streaming Oblivion, just a few days ago over there. It was really fun. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And with all that being said, I'm out. Peace. Alright, let's see if I can actually carry all this
You
shit now.
sleep rather soundly for
Whoa!
a murderer. That's good. You'll need a clear conscience for what I'm about to propose.
I scared the fuck out of me, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god, I didn't think this motherfucker was gonna pull up that fast. Holy shit. Oh my god, dude. Dude, I was not expecting any of that. Holy fuck, bro.
I am Lucian the Chance, a speaker for the Dark Brotherhood, and you are a
Oh my
killer,
god.
taker of life, a harvester of souls.